I was always into sports, and actually when it came to college, I went to Brown University and I played field hockey, ice hockey, and lacrosse, all on the varsity teams. I was just, sports just were my form of connection with other people and learning more about myself and learning how to, communicate with others and achieve things together. And that felt so good for me. So I've always loved athletics, and it's where I felt safe. It's where I felt most myself. So I guess that's what drew me to it. It's a place where I really felt that I belonged, where as a child, I didn't always feel like I belonged. I was overwhelmed with anxiety and fear and had a lot of issues and OCD and all these things that made me kind of feel like a crazy person. But through my sports, it made me feel like I belonged and I was normal and I was worthy. And so it really was an essential part of my growing up that kept me sane and kept me growing and building confidence to be able to achieve the things I have in my life up until now.
I think my affiliation with food really started very much early on, and I would say it's in my genes. My grandfather actually came from China to Singapore in 1934. And he actually started the food distribution business in order to survive. Actually, he came here after his first wife passed away, so he brought my younger auntie with him. And then subsequently, he married my grandma, had another 9 children, and then settled down in Singapore. So we've been around longer than Singapore have been. And what happened was he was selling all the food to all the street hawkers. That was in the 50s and the 60s, post-World War II times. And then my uncles was in the business, and they developed the food service model, where similarly to like Cisco Foods, I guess after World War II, everybody was like pivoting to new businesses. So that was exactly what we were doing, along with the industrialization of Singapore and opening up the ports and things like that. A lot of tourists, hospitality. So my uncles started selling food to the hoteliers. And that was it. And so we've been around for 80 odd years.
Actually, I had a pretty unusual upbringing. I was born and raised here in Hong Kong, where I'm speaking to you from today. But my father is originally from India, and my mother is originally from the United States. And they met right here in Hong Kong on the iconic Star Ferry. And in those days, having a mixed marriage like that was very unusual. And not only were they together from 2 very different cultures, but they raised us here in Hong Kong, which was a British colony at the time. And they had 7 of us children, which was also highly unusual in our community. We went to mostly British schools, and yeah, we did not fit the mold. But I think growing up in such an unusual family, but a family that has such a strong sense of values and purpose, really shaped who I am and my approach to life.
My journey to Fireclay was a little different. I happened to meet the founder through a family friend. The business, this was in 2008, the business was in a bit of distress. I started helping him. It probably had less to do with Tile. It had a lot more to do with him. His name's Paul. It had a lot more to do with the manufacturing side. I actually geek out a lot on mass customization. Tile lends itself incredibly well to that. So because we're able to mass customize for any customer anywhere, there's just an incredible experience that goes with it. So I'm probably if you meet anyone from 150 person team, I'm probably the one who's the least strong with our product and Tile and even design, but I love our customers. I love our customer experience. I love the medium with which we're able to be creative. And so Tile and ceramics and artisan tile lend itself incredibly well to that. So anyway, we can dive more into it, but that's how I got to Tile. That's why I love Tile.